So, so we are live. We are live. Just one thing here, one thing here. So, style is another thing that I need to check here. So, yes. So hello guys, and welcome back to another video in our channel. It's been quite a while since we actually had a video. I've took like a 1 week break. I was really busy preparing some things that were very important to me, and I didn't get enough time to actually do videos. But here we are. The Premier League is actually resuming really soon, and there's a lot to talk about with regards to Chelsea Football Club, and most importantly, looking at the running. What is the running? The running actually refers to the last lap. The last lap. After this international break is when we are going to know what is the fate of Chelsea Football Club when it comes to the summer transfer window, when it comes to the future of this club, when it comes to the top four finish, when it comes to the Conference League, when it comes to the Club World Cup. Like, what tactical changes has Enzo Maresca made in this game? The last video that I did was Chelsea's game when they faced Arsenal, a very in-depth analysis. I talked about how Chelsea looked stale in possession. Chelsea looked stale in possession. There was no attacking threat. And this is something that you have seen with Chelsea after the 0-0 draw at Everton. Chelsea have looked stale. Their XG has been really low, indicating how Chelsea have really failed to capitalize in their chances. They have failed to create chances for themselves. They have failed to create that situation where they're able to create problems for their opponents. But we are here today to talk about, is something going to change at Chelsea, or are we going to expect the same old? And if the same old happens, where will Chelsea finish? Now, let's look at Chelsea versus Arsenal, for instance. We saw Enzo Maresca bringing in Robert Sanchez back. Robert Sanchez was partly at fault for the set-piece goal that Chelsea conceded against Arsenal. Arsenal had a lot of chances against Chelsea. And we saw Maresca making some big calls, especially with the lineup that he chose, leaving out players like Tosin. And this really created a lot of anxiety within the fan base. And even when you look at the performance of the team in that game, the performance was not really great, with seeing players like Beno Badeshile coming into the team. And the performance was not great. But to add to that, we also have some interesting thing that happened yesterday. And this thing that happened yesterday has actually shocked everybody, actually creating a sense of dissatisfaction within the fan base. And I want to give you this news as we are actually doing this analysis. Let me just share my screen as I want to give you the correct news about what happened. So, Enzo Maresca was left fuming and cancels yesterday's off for the players after the first team lost 3-0 in a training match to the under-21s. The first team lost 3-0 against the under-21s in Chelsea's match. Now, this is not something that we are new with here at Chelsea, because we know very well that this club is going through a very difficult time. But how is it that the club is going through a very difficult time to a point where Chelsea are actually losing to the under-21s? This shows the preparedness of this squad, especially when it comes to trying to galvanize the squad for the running, because Chelsea have played 28 games. Chelsea are set to play 10 extra games. These 10 extra games are worth 30 points. Chelsea are currently at 49 points. Is it 49 or 47 points? It's been long since I checked at Chelsea. Yeah, so just a minute. Just a minute as I check on the table. And here we are. Here we are. Chelsea are currently 49th in the Premier League table. They are 49th in the Premier League. They have 49 points in the Premier League table. They are seated fourth. They're just slightly ahead of Newcastle and Manchester City. Newcastle won the Carabao Cup, meaning that Newcastle are coming in to try and get the top four. Manchester City are also going to come in and trying to get the top four. But Chelsea dropped points. Chelsea have dropped points. And the running is a very crucial point in the league. The running is a very crucial point in the league. Chelsea have actually played 29 games, meaning that Chelsea have only 9 games remaining. 9 games are 27 points. In those 9 games, Chelsea have some weird fixtures. Weird fixtures. If there's a team that has the most difficult fixture out of the top 4 contenders, it's Chelsea. Chelsea are going to play Liverpool. Chelsea are going to play Tottenham. Chelsea are going to play Brentford. They are going to play Manchester United. They are going to play Nottingham Forest. Just look at those fixtures. 5 of those fixtures are bogey teams for Chelsea. Chelsea can actually lose 5 of those games. Chelsea can lose 5 of those games and actually just win 12 points. 12 points will be how many points from that position? 12 points will be around 62 points. That is even below what Mauricio Pochettino got. Now, how can Chelsea actually lose to the other 24s? And when you look at the team that lost to the under 24s, you're seeing players like Benoit, Tosin Adarabio, Sancho played in that game, Christopher Nkunku played in that game, and we are going back to what we've been saying, that players like Christopher Nkunku, players like Jadon Sancho, not even Jadon Sancho in particular, Nkunku has been so lazy on the pitch. He's not had that aggression. He's not had that desire. He's very stale when it comes to progressing the ball. The defense, you just know when Benoit Badiashile is in that defense. Colwill has not played, but that is the kind of notion that you're getting. So as much as a lot of fans, that's why even some of us decided to take a break. We said the international break is here. Let's take a break from football. Let's just enjoy other things in life, enjoy family, enjoy friends, enjoy everything else in life, and just have these 2 weeks to forget about Chelsea. But we are back. But not only are we back, but we are back also to find out that Chelsea are even in a much worse situation than we left them. And the loss to the under 21s is very, 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 very threatening to Chelsea's season, because now questions will be asked about Enzo Maresca. Questions are going to be asked about what has Enzo Maresca done, because it's now looking like all those gains that Mauricio Pochettino had with Chelsea, like establishing Chelsea into a stronger force, putting Chelsea in that position. Just give me a minute as I grab a glass of water. I'm coming. So Chelsea, despite all those challenges that Chelsea were facing in this league, you're seeing Chelsea in a position where they are unable to actually make it in the top 4. And that is actually looking like it's going to be Chelsea's problem this season. Now, there's also some good news as well as bad news when it comes to Chelsea, as we are also seeing good news that is coming. We know there are some players who actually got injured. And here is the good news. The good news is we have key players back into the team. One of those players who is back in the team is Cole Palmer. Remember the last fixture when Chelsea lost 5-0 to Arsenal, Cole Palmer was not there. this fixture when Chelsea are actually in a position where they were to face Arsenal. He was not there, but Chelsea just lost 1-0. But it wasn't a game that Chelsea should have lost. Arsenal were not in their full strength. Arsenal did not offer any threat going forward. The least that Chelsea could get in that game was a 0-0 draw. They didn't get that. Cole Palmer is back into the Chelsea training. Another player who's back, who's very important for Chelsea, is Noni Madueke, who's also back. Remember, the right wing, we've really lacked a direct winger down the right, a winger who's leading to take on players and enter the box and attempt shots. Majority of the times when Pedro Neto finds himself in those positions, he wants to drop deep and whipping crosses in the far post. The only player who's giving the threat in the far post is Marco Correa. And Marco Correa is not even a forward. So Jadon Sancho is not that player who likes to attack the far post with a lot of urge like Marco Correa. Another player who's back is Nicholas Jackson. I never knew that there's a day where I will actually be excited to see Nicholas Jackson back into the team. But we were also not performing well when Jackson was there. But seeing Nicholas Jackson back into the team gives me a lot of belief because he's a striker who likes to make runs. He's a striker who has a good holder play. He's a striker who injects that energy. Now, we don't have to put Pedro Neto to play forward, and we don't have to suffer Christopher Nkunku. Oh, my God. We don't have to suffer Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku is so lethargic when it comes to pressing. He's so lethargic when it comes to attacking. When Jackson is back, Nkunku automatically goes back to the bench. And it's very good for me. Very good for me. I've lost trust in Nkunku. If we were a serious club, probably we should have even loaned out Nkunku and retained João Felix. Nkunku has been a disappointment in the last 2 months when Jackson has been out injured. Another player who's back. So, yeah. So we have probably our best attack, Noni Madueke down the right. But Noni Madueke is always sometimes even very complacent when he's on the pitch. So we have Noni Madueke back in the right wing position, Jackson leading the line, Palmer in behind him, and I don't know, maybe Neto will play down the left. And then now we can have the informed Caicedo and Fernandez in that holding midfield role. Even Romeo Lavia is back. So we can have them in that midfield. Rhys James is also back. Malo Gusto is also back. Cucurella is back. Colwell is back. Wesley Fofana is back. If we are serious enough, we can actually try to win at least, how many games? At least 5 games in this running. Get at least 2 draws or 3 draws and 1 defeat. And those are 68 points. With 68 points, we are guaranteed of the Champions League. Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? Why can't we just win 5 games in this running, draw 3 games, and probably just lose 2 games? Lose 1 game, and we will be good to go for the Champions League. So let me just go directly onto the fixtures and then analyze all the fixtures one by one, and I can see which game Chelsea have an opportunity. So, here are the fixtures, and I want to go straight to it. So the Chelsea fixtures, these are the Chelsea fixtures that you're going to have. So we already lost to Arsenal. The next game is against Tottenham. Now, one thing that I know is that no matter the condition we are in, no matter how we play, no matter how poor we are, there is one game we should never lose in the Premier League, and that game is a game against Tottenham. Even the win probability is on our favor. We need to beat Tottenham. It is usually the game that we need. If we are going through a bad spell, the game that we need is Tottenham. It is the game that can get the fans back to supporting the team. And it's a team we can take points from. So one game that I don't expect Tottenham to come to the bridge and take 3 points. If they come to the bridge and take 3 points, it's the end for Maresca. If Tottenham come to the bridge and take 3 points, it will be the end for Maresca and the board, because losing to Tottenham is unacceptable at Chelsea. So Tottenham, Chelsea should ensure that they get all the 3 points from that game. The next game is away at Brentford. Oh my God, this is a tough game for Chelsea. If there are games that are so tough, this is one of the tough games, because these are London derby, by the way. Chelsea has not performed quite well when they faced Brentford. And Brentford is that team. Brentford is that team to Chelsea. It's that team that they have, it's a banana skin fixture. This is one team that you can actually find Chelsea losing this game. Chelsea has that thing of losing these kinds of game. But we have a very good we have hope, because this season we finally beat Brentford at Stamford Bridge. We have won at Brentford before, with Chilwell scoring a 1-0 victory during Thomas Tuchel's time. And I also expect, if we are really eager to get that top 4, we should also come back with 3 points from Brentford. Now we move on to the next fixture. It's a Conference League fixture. We should be winning this game. We should be winning this game. We should be winning that game. The next game that you're going to play after Brentford in the Premier League is going to be Ipswich Town. This is where everything started to go horribly wrong for Chelsea. Losing to Ipswich, losing to Aston Villa when you are already ahead, losing to Fulham when you are already ahead. These are the kind of games you are not supposed to lose. We lost away at Ipswich. Those were 3 points. We lost away to Fulham when we went 1-0 ahead. Those were 3 points dropped. So going to Ipswich coming at Stamford Bridge, it should be sure 3 points. Sure 3 points. So that now we are at 58 points when we are looking at the points as we are heading towards the running. Remember, the running are the last 9 fixtures towards the end of the Premier League season. What we want this season is the Champions League. What we want this season is the Champions League. That is the bare minimum. Pochettino was sacked after finishing 6th, after reaching the Carabao Cup final, after reaching the FA Cup semi-final. Enzo Maresca was knocked out of the Carabao Cup, was knocked out of the FA Cup, is currently in the Conference League, and the bare minimum that Maresca needs is a top 4 and a Conference League victory. We move on to the next fixture. The next fixture is Chelsea's game against Fulham away. Another game where Chelsea have a chance. Chelsea have a chance to win away at Fulham. Fulham won at Stamford Bridge, something that has not happened in a very long time. Fulham are Chelsea's local derby rivals. So this game is a game that Chelsea have no choice. You want to be in the Champions League, you beat Fulham. You beat Tottenham, you beat Brentford, you beat Ipswich, you beat Fulham. Those are the games that I'm talking about that Chelsea eagerly have to win. The next round of fixture is Chelsea against Everton. If there is one thing that Chelsea have had throughout the last 3 seasons that I've watched Chelsea, is that Chelsea have been very good when facing Everton at home. Our form at Goodison Park has not been the best, but when it comes to playing Everton at home, wow, 6-0, 5-0, 4-0, we've been blowing away Everton at home. So in this game also, it shouldn't be difficult. Though this manager, David Moyes, is at Everton, but being at home, being eager to try and get that top 4, Everton at home should be a game that Chelsea should be aiming to win. Then we move on to probably the last fixtures, the tough fixtures. Now, those are 5 fixtures that I've talked about. 5. And if you do those 5 fixtures, you already have around 15 points. Now, if you take 15 points to add it to 49 points, what do you have? You have close to around 64 points. So you have 64 points. Now, in that position, Chelsea are already in the driving seat for the top 4. Win those first 5 matches. Win those next 5 matches. The match against Tottenham, the match against Brentford, the match against Ipswich, the match against Fulham, the match against Everton. You already have 15 points. 15 points added to 49 points, you're already having 64 points, meaning that you need at least 3 points, and you have secured Champions League. You need at least 3 points. 3 points, and you have secured Champions League football. Because I think this season, the team that is going to secure the Champions League will have 66 points plus. Because even the other teams have very difficult fixtures. But if Enzo Maresca needs to be serious to get the top 4, the first 5 games in the running should be wins for Chelsea. Chelsea should approach these 5 games with wins. A victory over Tottenham, a victory over Brentford, a victory over Ipswich, a victory over Fulham away, and a victory over Everton at home. That is even before you talk about the other games, because the other games now, those are the games where Chelsea have a chance to lose. Chelsea have a chance to draw. The chance of winning in those games is quite low. It's quite low. It's quite low. But the first 5, Tottenham, Brentford, Ipswich Town, Fulham, Everton, Enzo Maresca needs to ensure those 15 points are in the bag, because if you get those 15 points, you are now strengthening your position in the top 4. 4 games remaining. If you win 2, lucky enough. If you don't win those 2 games and you draw 3 games, then you get 67 points and you're in a better position. Now, let's look at the last 4 games of the season. The last 4, the most difficult games that Chelsea are going to have. And for Chelsea to be in the driving seat of the top 4, they need to win the next 5 games, which are winnable games, where Chelsea are actually the favorites. Once they win those 5 games, the other 4 games, they just need to win 1 and draw 1. However they do it, win 1 and draw 1. But those last 4 games are very difficult for Chelsea. And let's look at those last 4 games. Now, the last 4 games for Chelsea are the first game, Chelsea hosting Liverpool at home. Now, I don't know if Liverpool will have won the league by then, because if Liverpool would have won the league by then Liverpool will have nothing to play for. So Chelsea can try to get a draw or a win. Difficult game. It's a game where Chelsea can lose, and I will not be angry because, again, I didn't expect Chelsea to beat Liverpool. But since we are at home, we should try to get a draw in that game. We should try to get a draw. But it depends. If Liverpool have won the league, but again, Liverpool are only playing for the Premier League title. They're not playing for anything. So that's also a bad thing, because if they were playing for the Champions League, then probably would have had a chance. But if we can, let me just be realistic. If we can get a draw in this game, that can take the team into a better position. A draw with Liverpool at home. Something I can ask for. It's a game, something that I can be contended for. The other game is Chelsea away at Goodison Park. There's a time we went at Goodison Park with Thomas Tuchel and won 5-0. The last 2 times we've gone to Goodison Park, we've been battered. We lost in the Carabao Cup at Goodison Park. We lost last season at Goodison Park. We lost the season before that at Goodison Park. We beat Newcastle at home. But again, okay, Newcastle is not an easy game. They beat Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. They beat Arsenal at Newcastle. So it's a tough game. Don't get me wrong. And what can I say? This can be one of those banana fixtures where Chelsea actually loses. But also, Chelsea have an opportunity to win at Goodison Park. It will be a tough game, don't get me wrong, because Newcastle are going to be Chelsea's competitors for that top 4. So if Chelsea can win at Goodison, you've already taken away 3 points away from from Newcastle. 3 points are gone from Newcastle. 3 points. So you take those 3 points, you take a draw with Liverpool. Now you're moving from 64 points now on to 70 points. 64 points after winning the first 5 games. A draw against Liverpool, a win against Newcastle can secure Chelsea the top 4. If Chelsea win the next 5 fixtures, they get a draw at home with Liverpool, then they beat Newcastle, top 4 has been secured. It doesn't matter what is going to happen in the Man United game, what is going to happen in the Nottingham Forest game, what is going to happen in I think there are how many games remaining? Nottingham Forest and Manchester United game. it doesn't matter what is going to happen. Chelsea will have already secured top 4. The easy route for Chelsea: win the first 5 matches after the international break, draw at home to Liverpool, then beat Newcastle at Goodison Park. Because beating Newcastle at Goodison Park is close to around 6 points. You're taking 3 points away from Newcastle, you're gaining 3 points. So you're making it difficult for Newcastle to dislodge you from the Champions League positions. So you beat Newcastle in that game. You take the 3 points, you move from 67 points, 65 plus, those are 64 plus 1, 65, 65 plus 3, 68. You're already in the top 4. Whatever happens in the last 2 games, you will have already found yourself comfortably in the top 4. Now we move on to the next fixture. The next fixture is Manchester United at home. If there is one team that Chelsea have had a problem with in the last 5 or 7 Premier League season, is Manchester United. Last season, we managed to beat Manchester United at home. Remember the final 4-3 victory with Cole Palmer, yes. But also we need to understand that despite Manchester United's poor form, Chelsea have not had the best form when it comes to facing Manchester United. So it's not going to be an easy game, but we are at home. We are at home. The least we can pray for, with the least we can do is a draw. But if we are serious enough, put up a strong team, play our football, and if we carry up the points that we had, we should be beating Manchester United at home. So if probably we beat Manchester United at home, then we move from 68 points all the way to 71 points. Now we strengthen our top 4 finish. And then the last game is against Nottingham Forest. And probably we might be ahead of Nottingham Forest. So if we go to Nottingham, get a draw, maybe we finish above them. We not finish in the top 4, we finish 3rd. That could be a very good season for Enzo Maresca, because if Pochettino got 66 points, then Maresca gets around 72 points. Then that is a good season for Chelsea. No matter how we were frustrated throughout the season, no matter the pain that we've gone through throughout the season, we have 72 points. 72 points, then you add the Conference League. That's a good season for Chelsea. But this I've talked about when Chelsea have actually gone unbeaten in the last 9 games. Will I think Chelsea are going to go unbeaten? No, because there are some banana games that I'm saying there. The Brentford game scares me a lot. The Newcastle game scares me a lot. The Manchester United game scares me a lot. The Liverpool game scares me a lot. So you don't really know what you're going to get with Chelsea. A lot of people, but this team is good enough to get a result against Liverpool on the bench. No. This team is not good enough to get a result against Liverpool. No. Chelsea are not good enough to get a result against Liverpool. You see, we cannot afford to give Liverpool the chances that we gave Arsenal, because Liverpool have Salah. Liverpool have Szoboszlai. Liverpool has Luis Diaz. Liverpool have Diogo Jota. They are definitely going to score a goal. The question is, have we fixed our feet? Are we now able to outscore them? And recently, looking at the form of our attack, I don't think that's something that we've been doing quite well of late. So I really wanted to talk about that, and I'll be looking to drop a video very soon. It's been quite long. I had a lot of things to do. And that made me not to do a lot of videos on YouTube. And it took me around a week, because I also got so disappointed with the Chelsea performance against Arsenal, and that really made me not to involve myself in the game. So thank you very much, and I'm looking to drop a video. I want to talk about Enzo Maresca's tactics, and why is Chelsea looking so stale in front of goal. It's been really a long time, and I hope that you're able to do this more often in the next coming games. So do you think Chelsea are actually going to get the top 4 in this running? Leave your comments in the comment section area below. Leave your thoughts in the comment section area below. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.